Hello everyone and welcome to Campus Calm on YouTube. I am Maria Pascucci, the high school and college students stress less life coach here to help you. I am a college speaker and I actually recently returned from speaking at Washburn University Welcome Week in Topeka, Kansas. And I speak with parents and with students. So during my parent presentation, I really talked with parents about the mindsets and the things that they can say to students, really those stress-busting statements to help their kids manage the pressures of academia. And after the presentation, I asked the parents if they had any questions. And everybody hemmed and hawed. Nobody wants to be the first person to raise their hand. But finally, I got one brave parent to raise their hand. And she said to me that her daughter was me 10 years earlier, who I used to be. And basically her daughter was a little academic perfectionist and a stressaholic, having panic attacks during exams. And she asked me how I went from being that stressed out college perfectionist to who I am today and launching my own business and really just someone who learned how to reassess my own priorities and learned how to create my own sense of calm. So I told her that, first of all, when I was in college at Canisius College in Buffalo in New York State, that I was very fortunate that Canisius had a wonderful counseling services support center and wellness office for students. So during my senior year, when I was really just totally freaked out and stressed out by school, that I went to the counseling center. And I really utilized the support structures that were already on place to help me and to help other students across the country. So I remember the first time I was in the office of the counseling center at Canisius, and the counselor who I met with, we have to fill out an intake form our first visit and answer a bunch of questions. And one of the questions that makes you list your GPA. So my counselor, he was looking at my intake form and he goes, he saw my GPA and he goes, 3.92, huh? And I was like, yeah, and he started laughing and he said, we see the kids at the top of the class and we see the kids at the bottom of the class, those who are at risk for dropping out. And he said that it's more rare that we see those kids in the middle. And that is one thing as an aside that I want to bring up right now to the parents watching, that just because some kids are at risk, meaning they're at the bottom of the class, they're at risk for dropping out, they're failing. That doesn't mean that your high-achieving students are not at risk too. That is a really important message that I talk about, and I really want people to understand that high-achieving students, they're at risk too. And they're at risk because of the unrealistic expectations that the world and that they place on themselves to be perfect. And I have a lot of students actually who contact me through Campus Calm, and they were on track to graduate valedictorian, they were slated to graduate summa cum laude from college, and they couldn't take the pressure anymore and the stress and the anxiety and the insomnia from trying to be perfect, that they actually dropped out of school. So anyway, my counselor at college told me that those kids at the top of the class, that he sees them all the time in their office. And I really want you to understand this right now, that, do not be afraid to go to your campus counseling center. These people are here to help you. So when I graduated from college, I read a lot of books on academic perfectionism. I read books on resiliency building exercises. The Resiliency Advantage by Dr. Al Siebert is actually one of my favorite books that I would highly recommend for people who really need to learn how to become more resilient and really manage stress. So I read books on academic perfectionism. I got counseling inside of school, and I also got counseling outside of school after I graduated. And during one of my counseling sessions, I remember that my counselor told me that I needed to practice mindfulness. And I remember I looked at her and I laughed and I rolled my eyes and I was like, yeah, whatever, my mind is working all the time. But what my counselor meant was that I was spending so much time always thinking, you know, my mind was constantly reeling with everything that I had to do, and I was such a future, you know, forward-thinking person that I never stopped really to just focus in on the present. And I know that a lot of college students are the same way. Like, do you ever really just stop for a minute to breathe, to appreciate being alive today, to appreciate that you're in college? You know, you worked so hard to get there, and just this accomplishment about, you know, what you're doing right now to secure the foundation for a happy and successful future. I mean, have you ever really just stopped to say, you know, wow, look at all this stuff that I've accomplished already, and you know, just look at the gift of being alive today. A lot of college students don't do that, and I know I didn't do that. So anyway, my counselor, she suggested that I take up yoga and meditation to really help me center myself and kind of, you know, really just start to learn how to appreciate living right in the present. Well, I thought it was kind of hokey, so I didn't know if I wanted to try that. I grew up as a dancer. I was a tap dancer for 10 years, and then I grew up, you know, like sweating to dance aerobics videos and weight training and all that. So, you know, I decided, okay, I'll give it a try, and I bought some yoga DVDs and some meditation DVDs, and you know, I remember the first couple times that I tried them, that I was actually so surprised by how much they really did help me just calm my mind and my body down. And I'm to the point now where, you know, I could have so much stuff to do, and my mind could just be reeling from everything that's going on. But as soon as I pop in that yoga or that meditation DVD and the music starts to play, that I could just feel myself calm down. And you know, like I said, I know that it might sound a little hokey, but hey, it works. And my husband, when he comes home from work, sometimes he'll open the door and he'll see me, and I'll be like sitting on a yoga mat and you know, legs crossed, and I'm just like this, and I'm like, I am revitalized, I am uplifted and empowered. And he just looks at me and he's like, woo, okay. And he goes upstairs and he leaves the room. But you know what? I'm doing yoga and meditation, and it's helping me chill out and calm down, and I'm not driving him nuts, so he's all for it. So what I can say to all of you high-achieving, stressed-out students out there all around the world, I know you guys exist because you're flooding my email inbox on a nightly basis, that if I can learn how to chill out and find positive, proactive ways to manage my stress, then you can do it too. All right? So I encourage all of you to sign up for Campus Calm on YouTube, and I'm going to be uploading new video tutorials all the time that teach you step by step how to chill out and really just learn how to manage the pressures of academia by learning about 10 student mindsets for a lifetime of authentic success and happiness, both in and out of the classroom. Thanks, talk soon, and remember to live your vision of a happy, purposeful life.